Well, personally, I hate it. You know, obviously I don't feel too good about it. You hate to see a lot of hard work not pan out the way that you would have liked for it to, but some things just aren't meant to be. But on a grander scale, I really hate it for the people of America, because Governor Perry has had a decade of solid leadership in Texas. Since he became governor, they've created over 1 million jobs in Texas, while America has lost 1 million net in the same amount of time. And since the recession started in 2009, Texas has created over 38% of all American jobs, and I think that a large part of that is because of the economic climate that Governor Perry helped foster in the state of Texas. So I really hate that the American people aren't going to get a chance to experience his leadership nationwide in the White House.
Okay, why do you think he made the decision to drop his bid?
Well, sooner or later, especially when you're dealing with money that people have donated to you and time that people are volunteering for your cause, you have to reevaluate whether or not there's a pathway for you to continue, or if it'll just be a waste of time. And I think Governor Perry is a very smart man who realized that there was no pathway really left for him to become the nominee. And as he said in his speech today, it's not about the candidate, it's about a movement. And he realizes that there's no pathway for him to continue. It's probably better for the Republican Party as a whole and America that he just, bow out of the race gracefully, and I think he did a very good job of that.
Okay, how do you think this impacts the South Carolina primary with him backing?
Well, it's going to be really interesting to see, because at this point in time, the conservative wing of the Republican Party is really looking for a candidate not named Mitt Romney to get behind. And so they're coalescing around Newt Gingrich and Rick Santorum pretty much, and Governor Perry obviously seems to think that Speaker Gingrich stands the best chance. And so it's going to be interesting to see how much weight his endorsement has. Gingrich is surging right now, but whether or not it'll be enough to top Romney on Saturday in the primary election will be really interesting to see. So I'm really curious to see if conservatives are able to build enough momentum to stop Romney from inevitably winning the primary and then becoming the Republican nominee.
Okay, and then what about the Georgia primary? Do you think is it pointless? Is it all?
Well, the Georgia primary is held on Super Tuesday, which is a day that a lot of southern states vote, and a day that nationwide is the biggest primary day. So I think the outcome of that is really based on South Carolina. If Romney can win South Carolina, then in all likelihood he'll have the nomination locked up by the time of the Georgia primary. But if Speaker Gingrich is able to win, then Georgia's certainly in play, obviously, since he is from Georgia. Debates are his strong suit, and a Gingrich victory in South Carolina would mean that Romney would still have to pay him some attention. So whether or not Georgia matters really just all depends on South Carolina and what happens Saturday.